bit of a surprise this morning using my journal. I flipped through and saw this, which is the 3-month contemplation, right, in the journal. Obviously, this is my journal. So I've been journaling for years, usually other products. I've used a lot of other journals. So I already see the value of it. And the reason why I created this journal, I go into in other videos. I've got specific videos about the Journal for Goal Achievement. You can also go on the goalachievementhub.com website. And I've got a bit of a, about like a Batman origin story about why I actually created it, because I've been using this stuff, the RPM system, for years along with another journal, but it's just too much. So it's too complicated, basically. It's not, it's a good system, but I don't use it all. And I also use a journal as well, and I've just compressed it all into the Journal for Goal Achievement. So I've been using this, right? And I'm at the 3-month contemplation, which really surprised me. First reason why it really surprised me is because, and I'm going to read out my reflections, what I actually put down here after that 3-month. I realized I have not missed a single day since I started this journal. Now, usually I do journal every day, but there's always like the odd day, like here and there, whether it's like sometimes when I travel a lot and I always take a really small bag, like it's ridiculous. I can go away for the smallest sort of rucksack and fit loads of stuff in it. And I have to really economize in terms of, do I take a journal? Do I take a reading book? All that kind of stuff. So, jackets, shoes, all that. And I fit it all into this one small bag. So when I go away for like a day or two, like a couple of days, sometimes I don't take my journal. And what I do is I might just write it on a piece of paper and transfer it later. But eventually, usually these journals last 6 months. But in my experience, most people probably take like maybe 7 months, because there's a few days here and there. Anyway, I got to my 3-month contemplation, and this point, this is what it says in the 3-month contemplation. It says, "Congratulations on reaching the 3-month milestone with the Journal for Goal Achievement. This is a significant accomplishment. 3 months is often enough time to start noticing shifts in your daily habits. You might even see some early signs towards progress towards your goals. However, don't get too caught up in the results just yet. The key focus right now is consistency. Remember, we are the sum of our daily habits. If you want to transform your life, it's crucial to nurture these habits. This is how all significant goals are achieved." Well said. Why do I know that? Because I fucking wrote it. Anyway, not only messing, but it is true. So now it's take a moment to reflect on the previous 3 months. So this is what I know. 3 months of focusing on your goals is enough time to start noticing some changes. Usually the first thing that you notice is habits get really reinforced. Big goals usually take a bit longer. They might take 6 months, even 12 months. Some goals are multiple years. But if you start working on a goal, let's say that's a fitness goal, right? I always use a fitness example. You're not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in 3 months, right? You might never look like him in your whole life, because it's a bit of a one-off, isn't it? But it will, in terms of the fitness, it usually take you at least 2, maybe 3 years to get the physique that you really want. But after 3 months, you'll see some habits. You'll be noticeably stronger, noticeably consistent, and this is the point, and the habit is now reinforced, and you will start, maybe you lost some weight, that kind of thing. So you start seeing the signs. So let's have a look. Like I said, let's have a look at what I put, right? I'm just going to read it to you because I know it's a bit vulnerable, but here we go. Firstly, this is the first time that I've ever consistently used my journal every single day for 3 months without missing a day. So I have not missed a single day. And you could say that's because I'm using my own journal. I mean, I love the other journal that I used to use. Can't fault it. It just, like I said, I had the RPM system and I was like jumping between this and jumping between the RPM and the journal. And now I've got everything in one volume. So because I've got everything here, I've designed it so it really ticks my boxes, and I'm motivated to use it because obviously whenever you, so this is a good thing, right? Whatever you do in your life, whether you're in business, whether you're in a career, you've got to be your own biggest fan, right? And you've got to champion your own products. In my software business, we call it dog fooding, right? Not everyone likes this term, but in tech they call it dog fooding, and that means you eat your own products, you use your own products. So like in my tech business, we use our software internally for things like document management of our quality management system. And we also use it for our own CRM, sales. So it's important that whatever product you're selling or wherever you are in life, you've got to be your own best advocate, your own cheerleader, your own flipping, champion. So me using this journal every day is an absolute flipping must, you know what I mean? But on a serious note, I've put here now, I'm very much enjoying using my new journal, and I'm using all parts of it to the full potential. Because I've got a lot of experience in journaling, I've really put into this. Like I said, I've been through it before. I've just done my, this morning, I've just done my focus of the week, where I'm peeling off from my goals. My goals are at the front, my big goals, and then I'm peeling off the bits that I'm going to do this week, right? And I've just hit that 3-month point. I'm super motivated. Anyway, let me read the rest of it. So, like I said, I'm very much enjoying using it because I'm using it to its full potential. I've got 2 primary goals. Listen to this. Both businesses have benefited from my improved focus and are showing the signs of bearing fruit. This is massive, right? I've done a few videos recently of, let's say, getting my head down, calming down on the lifestyle, really, really focusing on business. I have been living a bit of a monk mode lifestyle, like, business, focus, reading a lot, meditating a lot, really looking after my personal state. And what that's done, just a few months, even this 3 months, the signs that I'm now seeing in terms of business opportunity, both businesses have benefited. Like, we're in a better position. Sorry, I've just got a bit of tickle, like a hay fever. We're in a better position in my tech business. We just secured some new sales. We're also looking forward to getting some new business, and everything's going well. In the Goal Achievement Hub business now, it's took this 3 months, and we're now getting consistent sales every day, right? Which is massive. So we're on track there. So I'm really happy with that. The next bit was I finally transferred my pensions to, I'm not going to name his name, it's my financial advisor. So I've done some sort of housekeeping stuff there, which was important because I had these 3 pensions lying around from various jobs that I've done over the years that I needed to reinvest and move, and I've done that. My next bit I've endured a period of calming in terms of my lifestyle, dating, that kind of thing. Just calmed it down a bit whilst, like I say, I was living a bit of a monk mode lifestyle. And what I noticed on that, this is quite vulnerable now, what I noticed on that was when you do all this lifestyle and travel and stuff, you can become addicted to it. And I was definitely. And it almost became, you could say, like a part of my identity, which on reflection, I needed to remove myself from a little bit, just to, you don't want to become dependent on that stuff. So, because it's all about, all the travel and that, it's external. It's great, it's good fun, don't get me wrong. and I deserved it because I worked hard to get myself in that position. But the problem with it is you can become addicted to it, just like you can become addicted to any external things. So it was very important that I pulled back off that, and I started to feel the benefits. Remember, I cancelled a trip. I have this yearly trip where I go with my buddies, mountain biking, and we was going to do some road riding and mountain biking in Mallorca. We go Tramontana Mountains. It's mega. Do it every year. I've done it for like 10, 11 years now. And it's amazing. And I had to cancel it because I had a tender submission for a big project that I wanted to win at the time. And it was, I was so gutted, but I had to be back. I was late one night and I had to be at a meeting the next day. And I knew I would have made a right fucking balls of this tender if I'd have not been there. So I knocked the trip on the head. But I felt it instantly, you know, like that kind of fear of missing out. It's a trip I do every year. So I really felt it. And that was like 2 months, maybe 2 or 3 weeks into this mini monk mode. And I was getting these, it was like an addiction. I was getting these, really missing out on that trip. And then another week or two later, what I realized was I felt much better. It was like, you know, when you really get your head down and you're really super focused on your goals, which is what I was doing. I was waking up, I was, you know, doing my reading, my journaling, meditating, all the rest of it, and sticking to a really good routine of self-care and lifestyle. And it took a few weeks for that to sort of bed in. So I've done that, and I feel like I finally got through that part, which was a massive win for me because it was something I needed to do personally. I'm not going to read the next bit because that is super vulnerable. That's about family. And then also, I just ended it with journaling is so powerful. And this is it. So if you think about the 3 months that I've been journaling, just like every other month, the first thing that I would notice going back is I am consistently journaling every day. And because it's forcing me to focus on what I'm going to do in the day, I'm actually ticking off the amount of stuff I'm ticking off every day. Tick, 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 tick. So do you know what that means? It means that work is getting done incrementally every day. And this is why it's really powerful. So my 3-month review means if I was to look at this now and just skip back, which I usually do every time I finish a 6-month journal, I'll review it. There's 2 parts with this journal now. Previously, I just used to read the bottom bit because that's about the correction, like, you know, getting rid of bad habits and things. Like on a normal gratitude journal, you're just looking at getting rid of habits. But on this, you've got the correction, getting rid of habits, but you've also got the goal section, which is tick, tick, tick. And that is the big one. The amount of stuff. And I know this, you know, when you can just feel things going in the right direction. There's 2 things. How do you know that results are coming? I think, obviously, if you use a journal, you can flip and document it, right, in real time as it happens each day. So you've got a real story that you can flip back on there, right, which is just evidence, right? That's just documented evidence that things are going in the right direction. And you can see it. The other way is that you can tell that you're achieving your goals. There's a gut feeling, right? And the gut feeling will look at indicators, right? Because sometimes when you achieve your goals, because it's done incrementally, you don't always notice the big changes. And then one day it just hits you all of a sudden, oh, I've got this. When it was always coming, you know, you was the day before, you were 99% there or whatever, right? So it was always coming. But you don't notice it until it just smacks you in the face one day and you think, shit, I've got that. But there is this gut feeling that things are moving in the right direction, but you also start to see subtle indicators. So an indicator for me was I started this journal on when I got them, which is also the same day I started selling them, of course. And the difference between that day, I knew, obviously I sold some on the very first day because people were waiting for it, that were great. But to get to after the initial people that were waiting for it bought them, there was a little, you know, like you've then got to find a new audience, like new people, never seen you before. And this is like this in any business. How do you find a customer? And I've done lots of videos on this, on you know, having the almost like a willpower to stay consistent and trust that you're doing the right things with a plan that eventually, you know, the business will move. But it always takes longer than you think. This has been 3 months, and whilst we're not like making absolute like life-changing amounts of money or like tons of profit, we're getting consistent sales now every day, which is massive for 3 months, which means in 6 months, we'll get even more sales. And then after 12 months, it'll be hopefully profitable. So there's an indicator, right? Same in my tech business now. We're moving on certain deals, we're moving on things like tenders, all that kind of thing, right? And that is just through being that consistent. And so yeah, that's kind of like a real life story of benefits here. You know, and the good thing is it's all documented here. I can see it, what I've achieved. I'll go back, look at my goals, see everything ticked off. There are the ways that you know you're successful. What you're doing is moving forward, you know. You can feel it, like a gut feeling. If you use a journal, you can read it because you've got a documented evidence. And then the other one is obviously the results themselves start to manifest. But 3 months is just 3 months, right? Big goals take a lot longer than that. But here's the point, right? When I created it, this last 6 months, there are 3 review points. The first one is after week 1. So you do a review after week 1 because let's say you start, this is first time you've ever done it, it's a new habit, right? After week 1, you need to check in with yourself. How was it using something like a journal or a new habit? Any habit, right? After week 1, check in with yourself. How was that? You know, because when you start a new habit, there's usually a little bit of friction, sometimes pain, you know, because you're doing something new and you're training your mind and body on this new motor skill. Right, so you check in after week 1. How was it? Was it that bad? Right, you're not going to get any results after 1 week, but you ask yourself, am I prepared to keep going? And it's like that fork in the road, that stick or twist moment. If you say, yeah, this, you know, let's say it's starting the gym and you hate it or you start running, right? After week 1, it's like, fucking hell, that's hard, but can I keep going? Yes, right, keep going. After 3 months, your next review, you should see that habit well and truly established. If it isn't, you haven't been consistent with it, right? That's why you have to be consistent. Once you reach that point, you're almost on the home straight because by 6 months, you will see some results. And as long as you keep going from there every 6 months, 12 months, you'll get more and more results. After 3 months, the habit should be well and truly established. As long as you stay consistent, the more habit reinforcement you do, the better your results will get. So that's my 3-month review. I'll do a 6-month review when I get to it. And of course, we want to see more and more reviews. If I look back over the years, though, on my wider goals, I mean, I started this flipping years ago, and I was using the RPM system. And at the very start of it, there's a, hang on, let me just skip back. There's kind of like, I remember writing down when I first started doing it, what are my, I think it was my 12-month goals, right? And out of all them, there's only, I can't show you these, they're too vulnerable. Out of all these, there's only one that I haven't ticked off, and that was because I kind of abandoned it. It's not an important thing, right? But everything else I absolutely smashed. I mean, there's things on here that not only have I smashed, because I started this a few years ago, not only have I smashed, I've smashed them and smashed again and smashed them again, you know what I mean? They're ongoing goals. I've got one here about my tech business, an amount of money in sales. I fucking smashed it, and then I doubled it. And then, you know what I mean? So you can keep going with these things. Simple things like, you know, I did this at a time when it was like, I remember went through the lockdown period with, and I've got here about holidays. I mean, flipping heck, you know, I couldn't go on one holiday back then. How many holidays did he have last year? Well, 2 a month. 2 or 3 a month, maybe. Well, trips anyway. So yeah, smash that. And then this is my most proudest goal of all. If I look back even through here, and I've still got it, my long-standing goal is the one that I'm most proud of, right, is to develop, improve the relationships with my family, wider family, you know, for everyone. And, you know, it's things like my relationship with my brother and things like this, which have all got consistently better over the years, right? It's a long-standing goal. I love it. But just to point out, this stuff works, right? I've been measuring for years, but even measuring for 3 months, just 3 months, right? The things that I've got here in my 3-month review, I'll just read it again. Firstly, this is the first time I've consistently used a journal every day without missing a day. I'm very much enjoying using my new journal, and I am using it to all parts of it to its full potential. And I've got both businesses have benefited from my improved focus and are showing the signs of bearing fruit. And I've finally transferred my pensions and things like this. And one of the things that I've been doing over these 3 months is I've enjoyed a period of calming down on my lifestyle a bit and really focusing on being consistent. I'm a very disciplined, consistent person anyway, but have I really put in the effort for the last 3 months? And I'll tell you what, I can just feel it, I can read it. And businesses are in good health, and I love it. So, don't know what you think about that. Be consistent, like I always say, work on 3 things a day. That's what I do in my journal. And I can see reading back, tick, tick, tick. Be consistent, focus on your goals, and you know, go and start journaling, get yourself a copy. I put a link down below, by the way, so you can go and check it out. Go to goalachievementhub.com. All right, I created this journal from many years of experience of using lots of different goal achievement systems and other journals. And I've used, obviously, the RPM system for years, which is very good. It's just, I'm not using it all, and it's too big, it's not very portable, and also you need a journal as well. So what I've done, put everything into it, go and check it out, goalachievementhub.com. But more importantly, this message is about me. My review is about staying consistent, right? And they are the results from my consistency. 3 months, consistent effort. Everything's going well, all right? Go and get yourself a copy. Links down below, all right? See you all next time.